Hey, love. If you are tired of bending over backwards in your relationships, whether we're talking about your relationships with family or with friends or your romantic relationships, then this episode is just for you. So I want you to grab whatever it is you drink when you're reflecting. So water, tea, Kool-Aid, whatever. And also grab a journal and let's spend some time getting real with ourselves today. I want to welcome you to Christian-ish. This is the podcast for women who have Bibles, but sometimes lack boundaries. And my name is Keshia Rice. I'm a dating coach. I'm a hypnotherapist. I help women learn how to heal from their unhealthy relationship patterns and attract relationships that are healthy and freeing, relationships in which they truly feel loved and cherished. So, we're talking about people pleasing and how to heal from it, especially in romantic relationships and while you're dating. But again, this really applies to all relationships. One of the things that I'm always telling clients is that all relationships are related. You know, if you show me a woman who has issues with setting boundaries with her family, with her friends, at work, with her bosses, I can guarantee you that she has issues setting boundaries in romantic relationships as well. Because when it comes to relationships, how you do one thing or how you interact in one relationship or set of relationships, so how you interact, for example, with your parents or siblings, is how you interact in other relationships as well. So if you've ever found yourself saying yes when what you really meant was no, or if you've ever changed your plans to keep the peace, you're not alone. I have definitely been there myself, and it was something that took me a while to heal from. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about it today, because I don't want to see other women having to waste the time, the years that I had making those mistakes. I want you to learn it much quicker than I did. Because here's the truth. Caring too much is not a virtue. I'm going to repeat that. Caring too much is not a virtue. Oftentimes, what it really is a survival mechanism. And you are not in danger anymore. You are not as dependent on others anymore, right? Like, from an evolutionary standpoint, it is natural to be people pleasing. Because think about it, when you are a baby, you are defenseless. Someone has to take care of you. So there's a reason why babies are so cute, right? It is because their parents and others look at them and want to protect them and want to take care of them, because a baby cannot fend for itself. And this extends into your childhood as well. Until you have your own job, make your own money, all of that good stuff, you can't take care of yourself. You're reliant on your parents or whoever your guardian was growing up to do that. So you learn what behaviors, what actions make that person or those people happy, and you stick to those rules in order to stay safe. And then you also start to learn how to fit in with society as a whole when you are in school and you don't want to be bullied and you want to fit in with the crowd. And then you get into larger society as an adult and you're working to be socially accepted so that you can get a job, or so that you can maintain friends as an adult, so that you can find a partner. So you do all of these people-pleasing behaviors in order to still belong to a tribe because you think that that is going to make you feel safe. People pleasing typically comes from a place of fear. It is a fear of not being enough, or of rejection, or of being alone. And here's the thing. As a Christian, one of the things that I learned, studying the Bible and Sunday school and all of that, was that Jesus didn't live to please people. And that's the example we're supposed to follow, right? He was focused on pleasing God. And if you read through the Gospels and you read through his journey, he took time alone from the apostles. He set boundaries and he never apologized for that because he knew that setting those boundaries and maintaining them and enforcing them was key to allowing his ministry to grow. So if Jesus can say no, and that's the example we're supposed to have, then yeah, you can say no. You can especially say no to a date with a dusty man who doesn't align with your values, right? So following that example is how we fulfill our own missions on this life. We have to uphold boundaries. We have to enforce them because we were placed on this earth with a purpose. And so many things will come into your life trying to distract you from that purpose. And you can't allow that to happen. Setting boundaries is the least selfish thing you can do. It is all about self-care. And something else I'm always saying to clients is when you set boundaries and when you fill up your own love cup, then you are able to love from a place of overflow. You are able to love people from the overfill of your cup and not put yourself in a position where you're giving from resentment. And the Bible tells us this. So Proverbs 4:23 talks about above everything else, you need to guard your heart. And that means you don't give just anyone access to your heart. You are a solar system. And if you are the sun, there are people in your life who deserve to be Mercury. They have earned that place. They've always been there for you. They've always been down for you. And they respect your boundaries. They honor you. And then there are people in your life who are Pluto, right? Like, you know who they are. They exist, but you don't ever allow them close to you. You have to be very protective of your solar system, and you have to be very careful about where you place people. And when you are guarding your heart, that means that not everyone gets access to you, period. And then even people who get access to you, there's certain levels of access that they get. You have to remind yourself that you are not responsible for anyone else's happiness. The only person's happiness that you're responsible for is your own. You are not an emotional rehab for damaged people, especially not damaged men. But again, since this applies to all relationships, for damaged people. And being responsible for your own happiness means that you need to focus on healing yourself and let the chips fall where they fall. Some people will love you more for that and honor that and respect that and want to help take care of you and provide for you. Some people won't. The people who don't want that access to you, that's not your business. So I want you to take some time over the next couple of days whenever you're hearing this, and just take, an hour or so to reflect, to pray, to seek guidance. And I want you to really focus on surrounding yourself with people who uplift you and don't drain you. And if you don't currently have anyone like that in your life, then start with online, right? Find social media accounts, find TV shows or movies that depict the type of relationships that you want, even music songs that depict the relationship that you want. Start with that as you get out there and start building your tribe. You don't have to be born into the perfect family. Sometimes we choose our families. And you don't have to settle for dusty relationships. You can seek better. You can go out and get better. And most importantly, I want you to know that your worth is there regardless. No matter what, you are worthy. And that worth is not tied to whether or not other people are happy or how much you give to other people. So if you're ready to stop people pleasing and live an authentic and happy life where you are well cared for and people respect your boundaries and love you for them, then I would love to work with you one-on-one. I have a 4-month coaching program called From Toxic to Thriving. I will put a link in, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description. If you are listening to the podcast, I will have it in the show notes for you. And yeah, I can't wait to have that call with you and see what it would look like to work together. And if this was of some value to you, I know today's message was short. So if this was of value to you, it should be even easier for you, since it was a short message, to share it with a friend. So again, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast, leave me a review. I do read those. You can also send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Keshia Rice, KESHIARICE. I do read every message that gets sent to me. And again, share this with someone who needs to hear this message, because you're not alone, right? And we're in this together. So in the meantime, stay blessed, stay bold, and I love you so much. Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Contessa Digital.